Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a pretty huge topic, but we'll do it with simple, clear steps. We're talking about how to build your own digital fortress, to keep your online life truly secure.
So let's just jump right in with a question we should probably all be asking ourselves a lot more often. How safe are you and your family, really, when you're online?
The digital world, it can really feel like the Wild West sometimes, right? There are threats lurking everywhere. I'm talking about those super convincing fake emails trying to snatch your passwords, or even apps that are quietly tracking your every move. But, and this is the important part, you are not helpless. You actually have the power to build up your own defenses.
And honestly, that's exactly what this explainer is all about. We're going to give you the blueprint step by step for building your own digital fortress. It's all about creating these different layers of defense that all work together to keep you safe. All right, let's get into it. Layer 1. See, every fortress, and I mean every single one, needs a rock-solid foundation. For us, in our digital lives, that foundation is all about securing the devices we use every day. We're talking about your phone, your laptop, your tablet, the basics.
Okay, so the first and really the most basic step is using good security software. And you got to check this out. Independent lab tests from places like AV Test show that a lot of the top products out there offer practically flawless protection, and they do it without slowing down your computer. Look at these scores. The big names are hitting perfect hundreds across the board.
But here's the thing. You don't always have to shell out cash for good protection. I love this quote from a Reddit user because it's so true. The free built-in stuff, like Microsoft's Windows Defender, often gives you this amazing balance of security and performance. It's already on your machine, it actually works, and it doesn't slow you down or get in your way. And another really key piece of this foundation is a firewall. The best way to think about it, it's like a digital bouncer for your computer. It stands at the door, checking the ID of all the data trying to come in or go out. It stands guard, blocks anything that looks shady, and basically creates that crucial barrier between your computer and the wildness of the internet.
Okay, so our foundation is solid. Now it's time to build up. This next layer is all about locking the gates to your most valuable assets, your online accounts. This is where the really sensitive stuff is, right? Your email, your banking, all your social media. So listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. If you only do one thing after listening to this explainer, make it this. Go enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Seriously, it's like having multiple, totally different locks on the door to your account. It is, without a doubt, one of the single most effective ways to stop hackers in their tracks.
And the way it works is pretty genius. It forces any login attempt to prove it's you in at least 2 different ways. So think about it. Even if a scammer somehow steals your password, that's something you know. They still can't get in. Why? Because they don't have your phone to get the special code. That's something you have. Or your fingerprint, something you are. And hey, this isn't just me saying this. This is official guidance from the top cybersecurity agencies, places like CISA and the National Cybersecurity Alliance. They are constantly stressing how important this is because they know just how effective it is at stopping bad guys from taking over your accounts. The bottom line, if MFA is an option, you need to be using it, period. Of course, MFA is like a superhero, but every superhero needs a good sidekick. In this case, it's a strong password. And we've got to move past using short, simple words. You should be aiming for at least 15 characters. Or even better, try a passphrase. Just string a few random words together. It's way easier for you to remember, but a nightmare for a computer to guess. And here's the golden rule, the one you can't break. Use a unique, strong password for every single site. Trust me, a password manager is your best friend. It'll make this whole thing so much easier. All right, next up, let's build the actual walls of our fortress. This layer is a bit different. It's not just about protecting one device, it's about protecting everything connected inside your home network. That digital space where all your different gadgets are talking to each other.
A really powerful strategy here, and it sounds more complicated than it is called network segmentation. The idea is actually super simple. Instead of throwing all your devices into one big open room where if one gets sick, they all get sick, you divide them up into smaller, isolated rooms.
So here's a practical example. Your trusted devices, your computer, your phone, they go on the main high-security network. But then all your other smart gadgets, what folks call the Internet of Things or IoT devices, like your smart TV, your thermostat, maybe even your fridge, they go on a completely separate, isolated network. Now, why would you do that? Well, it's because those IoT devices often have much weaker security. So this way, if a hacker manages to break into your TV, well, they're stuck there. They can't use it as a backdoor to get to your laptop where all your important files are. It's all about containment.
But look, here is the absolute 100% non-negotiable step for this entire layer. You have to secure the main gate to your whole network, and that's your home router. You have to change the default admin password. I'm serious. If you do anything, do it today. So often it's something laughably simple like admin or password. And you can bet your bottom dollar that's the very first thing any attacker's going to try.
Okay, so now we've reached what is, frankly, the most critical layer of them all. Because you can have the strongest fortress with the highest walls and the best guards, but none of it matters if someone on the inside just opens the gate and lets the bad guys in. That final, ultimate line of defense, it's you.
So many attacks these days start with something called phishing. And I want you to ask yourself, and be honest, could you spot a really sophisticated fake? Because scammers are getting so good at creating emails that look 100% legitimate, and their whole goal is to trick you into clicking on one bad link.
The real key is to learn to spot the psychological tricks. Scammers love to create a sense of urgency or even fear. You'll see things like, your account is locked, or suspicious activity detected. They do this to make you panic and act without thinking. Just remember, a real company is almost never going to ask you to update your credit card or password through a random link in an email. If you're ever in doubt, just close the email and go directly to their website yourself.
All right, here's another way we can accidentally leave the gates wide open. It's called geotagging, and a lot of people just don't realize this is happening. When you snap a picture with your smartphone, it very often records the precise GPS coordinates of where you were standing and buries that data right inside the photo file.
Now look, that can be kind of cool for organizing your vacation photos on a map, but it's also a massive privacy risk. When you post that photo online, you might be unintentionally broadcasting your exact home address, or where your kid goes to school, or maybe even the fact that your house is completely empty right now because you're on that vacation. You're basically creating a detailed map of your life for anyone to see. So the most important thing here is to take back control. Seriously, after this, go into your phone settings and turn off location services specifically for your camera app. Make it a habit to check the privacy settings on your social media accounts. And maybe, just maybe, get into the habit of waiting until you get home to post all those amazing vacation pictures.
Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, right? We've built our fortress from the ground up, from the device foundation to the network walls, all the way to the most important part, the human element. So let's just quickly wrap this all up into a simple, actionable plan that you can actually start on like today.
Because here's the reality. Building your digital fortress, it isn't a one-time thing you just set and forget. It's an ongoing process. It's about being aware and staying vigilant. It's about those key things we talked about, like enabling MFA, finally changing that router password, and just thinking for a second before you click. So I'll leave you with this question. What's the first, most important brick that you are going to lay today?